Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host Scotty McCoy, and boy do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Sierra Mitchell, and she played Maggie McNeil in Massacre Academy. Hey Sierra, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to have you on. I know we set this up, I believe it was last week. Mark set me up with the three leading ladies of Massacre Academy, and I'm so glad to have you on. I'll be having Christina on a little later today.
So cool.
So, first question I got for you is generic. How did you get your start in acting?
Well, I actually started doing musical theater. So I've been doing that since I was like around 6 or 7. And I just did like community theaters and I do like local shows and stuff like that. And then I met Mark just through Facebook and through mutual friends on Facebook, and he kind of kickstarted that for me, which I'm still super grateful for.
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually because I know a couple people in my upcoming movie 72 is in Massacre Academy, and I know I heard of Massacre Academy through them, and I reached out to Mark on Instagram, and I didn't think he was on my Facebook, so I reached out on Instagram. He was already following me, and we talked, and then I'm like, so I'll add you on Facebook. He's like, I think we're on Facebook. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm like, oh, he is on my Facebook. Interesting. I didn't even expect that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. But yeah, he's a good guy. So speaking of Mark, how was he as a director?
Oh, Mark is just wonderful. He has so many great ideas. He's the most talented director I probably worked with. Nice. He just is he cares about the cast. He cares about his work. He like puts every small detail into there. He is honestly and he's a great friend. Like he is an amazing person. So he's like amazing to work with. So if you ever like get the chance to work with Mark, it's not an opportunity you want to pass up. Like he is such a great person.
It was actually confirmed officially publicly yesterday when I interviewed him that I will be working with him on Wolf Hollow. I will be
that is amazing.
I don't have a part yet or anything like that, but we're going to discuss that more. But I said if I'm in Wolf Hollow, he's like if you're in Wolf Hollow, I'm like yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. You're gonna have so much fun.
I can't wait because I can't wait to work with him because we talked about working with each other in the past, and for this past week, and I'm really looking forward to it because I heard so many great things from you and from Jess about him, and I'm sure Christina will say the same thing. So that's really exciting.
Oh yeah.
So are you going to be in Wolf Hollow?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
We've had a few conversations about it, so
nice.
Fingers crossed I will be. I have not auditioned yet, but I am planning on auditioning. So.
That's awesome. So I asked the same questions to both Jess and Mark, so I'm going to ask you the same thing because you might give a different take on it. So people that don't know about Massacre Academy, can you explain in your own words what the premise of this film is?
Okay, so basically there were murders about 2 years ago, and it was my parents because it was actually supposed to be Chris. They were supposed Carney, the clown, was supposed to get Chris, and it was Henry Lee Palmer, this like janitor. Okay. So Henry Lee Palmer ended up drowning in a lake, supposedly drowning in a lake. And so 2 years later, this is like present time, there's someone like copycatting the murders. So they're trying to figure out if it's like actually Henry Lee, like he supposedly died in the lake, like is it actually him, or is it like someone trying to copycat it? Yeah. So my character specifically is just the little sister, so I kind of like look up to Chris, and I look up to my big sister because she's been through so much, and I really like idolize her a lot. So that's basically like the little premise. I can't give away too much, but like that's what they say in like the beginning of the movie. So
nice. Yeah. It really does sound awesome. I know, like I said, Mark, he gave me a link to the video to screen it so I can like review it and give him like my thoughts on it and everything. So
that's awesome.
I'll be watching that. I won't be watching it this weekend. I'm busy this weekend, but probably next weekend or next week sometime I'm going to be giving it a shot. I can't wait to see what you guys do with it because I'm really excited about this.
It's so good. It's such a good watch, honestly.
I did see the trailer, and the trailer is badass. It's like so,
so badass.
So your character obviously in the movie is Maggie McNeil. So can you tell us a bit about your character, who she is, what she does, and all that?
Yeah, so Maggie McNeil is a college student. She just turned 18. She's going for film, so she likes to do like film studies, and she makes little short films, and she mostly spends her time in the film lab. That's just her like passion.
Okay.
And like I said before, she looks up to Chris. She idolizes her a lot because Chris has been through so much.
Right.
She also is very fond of Becca. She loves Becca, which is Christina's character.
Mhm.
Her and Becca do everything together. Yeah, like
Nice.
Maggie is like the badass, I would say. She knows what she wants. She like gets through things differently than other kids do. She's kind of like more of like the different kid. But she like is amazing. I found like when I was doing my character development, like trying to get into the character of Maggie, I found like a little part of Maggie within me. And I feel like that's cool. I get to carry her with me now. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Mark's waiting for this question. A little birdie told me that there was a story involving you and an elevator. Do you care to say?
oh my gosh, I can't with this. Okay. so okay, on set there was this elevator, okay, and me and Christina, like before we started like filming or anything, we just wanted to check it out and see what it was, because we were like, I wonder if this elevator works. And I caught the entire thing on film, by the way, because I've been doing like little vlogs for Massacre Academy, and I've been like editing it, and I just found the video, so I wonder why this question is resurfacing. But so there's like this elevator, all right, and me and Christina were like, let's go in, let's go up and see if it works. And I go in and I'm like, Christina, come in. And she's like, no, I don't think that I'd be able to fit in here. And I'm like, it says for 3 people, like I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do it. And then the elevator door closed. And then so I was in the elevator by myself. Christina left me in there. And I went up to the 3rd floor and no one was up there. So I went back down and Christina wasn't there because she ran up to the 3rd floor to try and find me.
Oh my
So when she came back down, I was like, you're a bitch. You left me in the elevator by myself. And it's all caught on film. So I have proof that Christina left me in this elevator.
Right. And I and don't say anything to her. This interview will probably be posted before my interview with her. So hopefully she doesn't see it by then, but I will be asking the same question to her.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear her side. I can't wait to hear
I'm
it.
gonna get her side of the story. Mark said I'll probably get, when I ask you the question, I'll be getting your side, and I'll probably get a totally different side of the story.
Well, Christina, my guess is Christina's gonna be like, oh yeah, like I tried helping her and I ran up the stairs. No, she left me in the elevator. She left me there by myself.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh my God.
I cannot believe that is so funny.
So what was it like working with Jess and Christina?
They're just wonderful. I worked with Jess on Rocky Horror at the Grand Theater. And I met her through that, and we had like we grew really close during Rocky Horror, only because she was like, I was still younger and she is not, like everyone else was a little bit older than me, but she was like more close in age to me than most of them. So I got really close with Jess during that. And it was really nice to like, because we already had that chemistry, we already had that bond going on to set. And Christina, like I didn't know who Christina was until she came in for her screen test, and I was already casted. So she came in for her screen test and we had to do like our little scene together, and we like clicked automatically. I was like, you're now my new best friend. We got this, like we're gonna be good together. And Christina's just like the sweetest soul. She's so like spontaneous and spunky, and I am in love with Christina. She is like, she's like
Unless
so
she's
amazing.
you trapped in elevators, then or
Except for the part where she trapped me in an elevator. Yeah, that's the only part. But everything else, she's like amazing to work with on set. She's extremely talented. So Christina and Jess were like amazing to work with, like truly amazing.
That's awesome. And I haven't interviewed, like I said, I haven't interviewed Christina yet. I have her on, I believe, at 4 o'clock today. And
oh, that's awesome.
I interviewed Jess a couple days ago, and yeah, Jess was really sweet, really nice. We geeked out to wrestling. So yeah, and Mark had nothing but nice things to say about the 3 of you. So I mean, when he offered to have you guys on my show, originally I think it was supposed to be together, all 3 of you together with him, and I'm like, well, that would be one thing, but then I'm only limited to 40 minutes because I get the free Zoom, so you only get 40 minutes, and somebody when you have when you have 3 or more people. So I'm like, and then I also had like interviews that were groups that some people didn't speak as much as the others, and I wanted you all to get like your own like talk about your own
Spotlight.
interview, to talk about everything, you know what I mean? So I thought it would be a lot better if we just did 3, 3 individual interviews for the three of you guys, and then one for Mark, and that way we get to promote it a lot more, because then like your friends will see your interview, and Jess's friends will see hers, and Mark's colleagues and friends and all that will see his. So like that way we can kind of reach a more wider demographic with more videos out there at the same time. So I think that
100%. I like that.
Yeah, so more on a personal note, like which horror film or horror films are your current favorite, and which ones got you started into becoming a horror fan?
Okay, so I've said this on every single one. My favorite universe, my favorite series is The Conjuring. I love The Conjuring, all the adaptations. I just watched the 3rd one. It is amazing. I love it so much. I'm just like, I like all the little details. I'm a psychological horror kind of gal. The movie that really got me into horror, or not really movie, but series, was my mom used to watch American Horror Story when I was little. And so I remember her having the DVD for Asylum. And I was like, this looks really good, but kind of scary. And I was like around like probably 8. And I was like, I don't really want to watch it, but I want to watch it. So me and my mom ended up watching it together.
Right.
Because I was a little scared to watch it. So that was really what got me into like horrors. And then I watched all the classics like Nightmare on Elm Street and like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and like all that stuff. But The Conjuring really made me like want to rewatch every single one and like find out every single detail that the directors and the producers put into the movie, because there's just so much that you missed, and like you don't want to miss like every detail. You want to get like the full story. At least I want to get the full story. Right. Like when I first, like I'm about to rewatch The Conjuring 3, and when I first watched it, I like was the entire time was researching it. Like I was like, okay, I wonder what's real about this part. What's real about this part? Is this one exaggerated? Because I just want to get like every single part of it so I understand the full story, because I feel like that is just like the best part of horror, is that there's always like little details that you missed. Like I just finished The Haunting of Bly Manor yesterday, and that was amazing. I watched it like a couple times. But like I found some stuff that I didn't even know about Bly Manor. Like I found some stuff online, and I watched like ending explained videos, and I was like, that is something I didn't know. I really want to rewatch it and like see if I can catch it for myself. And that's what I like about horror, not just like the jump scares or like makeup. Like I like the actual like plot line, the storyline, and the stuff that you miss about it.
And even if you like watch the original Halloween, like it's not all about jump scares in that movie. There's like not many at all. It's more of a psychological thriller. Like this could really happen. A babysitter can be stalked by this man and then ultimately killed by him. Like that shit happened.
And that's what's so cool about it, because you can find so much other stuff. Like there's so much more that you can research about it.
Absolutely. Did you see the new promotional poster for American Horror Story season 10?
I did see that. That looks so amazing.
Yes.
Also the American Horror Stories, which comes out I think July
15th. Yep.
Yeah. That looks cool too. When I went to LA, I got back from LA like a month ago. I went to LA with my friend, and we went to the murder house to like because we wanted to see it. And they were filming the American Horror Stories, and it was so cool to actually like see somebody else, like a professional, like really really professional. Ryan Murphy was there. Like it was like everything to watch it, to just sit there. Like I sat there for an hour and a half just watching them film.
Did you like talk to Ryan or anything?
No, I was sitting across the street, so I didn't really get to talk to anybody. Plus there was a lot of police cars, so I was really scared that I was gonna get yelled at. But we did see, me and my friend, we saw Ryan walk across, and we saw the two nurses in season 1. We saw them, and the 2 little boys in the beginning of season 1, we saw them. So like we didn't really get to meet them, but we saw them.
So this is for American Horror Stories.
Yeah.
Nice. And I heard they are going back to the murder house for that, and the new teaser that came out shows instead of a rubber man, it's a rubber woman.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the little promotional video.
Wouldn't it be a twist? Do you remember how the rubber man was Tate, and he used it I guess you could say rape was it Vivian, the mom, right? Wouldn't it
Yeah.
be a twist if the rubber woman was Vivian?
Okay, wait. That'd be sick. Like super cool. We should just start feeding ideas to Ryan Murphy. Like, hey,
Right.
we have some ideas.
Absolutely. That would be really
Like
cool.
when you look at it, like not gonna lie, when you look at it, it kind of like the rubber woman kind of has the same body shape as
Yeah.
Vivian.
I was thinking that when I was looking at it, I'm like, I was kind of trying to see her shape and see if that was her, or I mean, I'm assuming for that type of that teaser trailer, they would get somebody similar, but not that actress, so they can like
Yeah.
you don't kind of aim it at it. But I was thinking, what if it was Vivian Harmon, as the rubber woman, because in season 1, she was raped by the rubber man and gave birth to the Antichrist.
That is a twist. And I like that a lot. I
I
actually
do.
really do like that.
I think that would be really cool. Come on, Ryan Murphy, make it happen. Oh,
Come on, Ryan Murphy.
Yeah.
We want to see it.
And season 1 is my ultimate favorite season of them
Same.
all. And I love season 1. That's my number 1. And a lot of people love Asylum 1 or even 2. Honestly, my number 1 is Murder House, and number 2, a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I loved Cult.
Okay, I liked Cult. I'm not a big politics kind of person.
Yeah.
When I watched Cult, I was like,
Yeah.
oof, politics.
I knew it could have went really edgy if it went into the Donald Trump presidency.
Mhm.
I liked it because it wasn't like all ghosts or demons. It was real world fears and
Yeah.
horrors at the time. So I really, really enjoyed the fact that it inspired real world fears and real world horror that was going on in, current
I like
society.
that.
So that's what made me really like that a lot, and I really enjoyed Kai Anderson. I actually really liked Evan Peters as Kai Anderson. I thought he did a really bang up job.
I feel like that was Evan Peters' probably best character he's played. Besides Tate, I like Tate a lot. I like Tate, but Kai Anderson had to take a lot of character development to get into that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know with after he did that role in season 8 Apocalypse, he was a minimum role because that role as Kai took a lot out of him, and he needed a break. And then he didn't return for season 9 because he needed that break, because that character was so in depth and so morally corrupted that he needed that break. It took a lot out of him, because if you think about it, yeah, you're acting, but as an actor, you got to get into the mindset of said role, of said character. And him, him being an actor, he had to get into the role of a lunatic, Trump supporter that wanted to create his own cult, so to speak. So like he got to get into that mindset, and doing that really, really, I thought it did take a lot out of him, but I thought he did an amazing job. He really did.
Oh, Evan Peters did so amazing in that.
Yeah, he's like a really talented actor. I had one person, I interviewed one person from American Horror Story, and he was like a very minimum role. It was in season 9, 1984. He played the dad of Brooke at the wedding. It's Stephen Culp.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I interviewed him mainly because he was in Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday. So I mainly talked about that with him. But he was also in How to Get Away with Murder and American Horror Story, of course, that one episode.
Yeah.
So he actually, I asked him about American Horror Story, and he said, that's a joke. I'm like, what do you mean? What was the joke about it? He said, well, they brought me in. It was like all the super secretive stuff. I was supposed to be like recurring as a ghost or whatever. And it turned into me being one episode. You blink, you miss me.
Wow.
So he literally went for like a recurring role, and he took this role because it was supposed to be recurring, and it literally turned into like a one episode, like
oh my gosh.
Part. Yeah. And he said it was like so super secretive, and like it was like jumping through hoops to get all these contracts signed and everything like that, and you can't say a word or you're gonna get sued and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said it turned out to be like a very, very small role. You blink, you pretty much miss them. Like, yeah. And he said he was on set for like 12 hours to film like one scene, like one little segment. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, I couldn't believe that it took him like that, like how that went, because he really wanted to be more. And then he was also, I don't know if you ever saw How to Get Away with Murder. He played one of the district attorneys, I believe, opposite of Annalise Keating. Like I forget what season it was, but it was where the twins, the Chinese and the African American twin, like when they were
okay, yeah.
He played their district attorney for like 2 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, it was cool talking to him. I didn't even finish How to Get Away with Murder yet. I have like 2 seasons to watch yet, but yeah,
I haven't finished it either. So You're good.
Sounds good. So, let me see. So, what was the best part about filming Massacre Academy, and what was the worst?
Ooh. I think the best part was just like the fact that it was kind of my dream come true. Because I've loved horror, like I said, I've loved horror
Yeah.
so much. And being able to be there on set and watch everything, even if I wasn't in a scene, I got to still be
Right.
there and watch it.
Right.
Was like honestly just like my dreams just like lit up, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm actually doing what I love.
Right.
So that was probably the best part, honestly. And then the worst part, I don't really know if there was a worst part.
Elevator.
The elevator. Yes, the elevator. No, I really don't think there was a worst part. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, it was like dirty. Like I had like dirt all over my elbows and on my back and like on my pants. But like that's
Okay.
it was just dirty.
Were you in the scene where they were in like the freezing temperature room?
Mm-mm.
Okay, because I know that when I asked the same question to Jess and Mark, they both said that was probably the worst. Like, was being in that like 30
I was in the downstairs part of it.
Okay.
And I was in one small little clip where I literally just walk out and I have Christina on my arm and I just walk out. So that was the only part. So like I wasn't up there for like 2 hours, but yeah, that must have sucked. Like,
I can only imagine. Yeah.
and then we went to this, you just unlocked a memory. We went to this other building, which was also freezing cold. And I'm like allergic to the cold. So I get really bad hives all over my skin when it's too cold. And so we were in that room and we all were huddling under blankets, and all you see in like one of the shots is just my cheeks are so red and I have hives just on my cheeks.
Ooh,
and I will not forget that. That actually kind of did suck. That really did suck. That was a good memory. That sucked really bad.
I like the cold, but I don't like it where it's to the point that you can't even do anything because you're like shivering, you know.
And it was worse because it was cold outside and then it was cold inside, so there was no warmth anywhere. Like nowhere, no warmth except for under the blanket. And me and Christina and Jess all shared that blanket.
Ouch. So the next question I have for you is pretty much to discuss the premiere. So if somebody wants to go and see the movie at the premiere, when and where is the premiere, and how can they get their tickets to go?
So there is a Facebook page for Massacre Academy. It's just called Massacre Academy. You can look it up on Facebook. And there's the link to our premiere. The premiere is July 31st of 2021. And then it's at the Lamp Theater in Irwin, PA. And you could get your tickets. They're $30 a piece. We only have like a few left, so if you would like to go get them, I would get them now, or like close to now. But yeah, the link to get the tickets is on the Facebook page. It's on all of our Facebook pages. On the Instagram page, if you find it, the link is there, I guarantee you.
Awesome. And I know like I'm glad COVID is kind of lifting up, because I'm glad it didn't affect your premiere, because you guys definitely deserve it. I know firsthand what it's like to make a movie, to be in a movie, and to, you know, actually produce a movie. Like I've been on both ends of the spectrum, and it's hard. It's hard. A lot of time, a lot of, you know, effort, a lot of stuff offset where you have to memorize your lines and be prepared, get in a character, all that different stuff. So you guys 100% deserve having a movie premiere and to celebrate getting this movie out there, because you all you know, put in your time and your effort and everything that you could possibly put in to make this movie come to life, and you all deserve it. So I'm glad that COVID is allowing that to happen for you guys.
Well, thank you. That's really sweet.
So last question I got for you. Are there any other films outside of Massacre Academy, or any other projects that you're working on that you would like to promote to the listening and viewing audience, and also any social media accounts that you would like to promote?
I do have a few things coming up that are in the works. I'm not exactly sure if I can talk about them yet, but they're some stuff that's coming up for me, at least. And then I have like a few like theater stuff that I'm doing, but that's not really movies. But my social media, I have an Instagram. It's OK Sierra. And then I have a TikTok where I don't really post much acting stuff. I'm like more of a cosplayer on there. But if you'd like to go follow that, it's simply Sierra1. And then I just have Facebook, which is just Sierra Mitchell. If you'd like to look me up, I post mostly on Facebook around like for my film stuff
Nice.
and what's coming up for me. So
Awesome. Awesome.
all that.
Awesome. Sounds good. And I'm sure you have an IMDb page. If you have an IMDb page, if you want to see what Sierra's up to, go check that out. Obviously this product that you're not allowed to talk about, not just you, but anybody that has products that aren't really public, public knowledge, they're not allowed to talk about it. So any of my guests, including Sierra, make sure you check out their IMDb page to keep updated on anything that they are going to be working on.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sierra, for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. This was
Not a
a lot of
problem.
fun.
I'm so glad that you were able to make this happen.
Me too. Me too.
All right. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank
All right,
you.
thanks. Bye.
Bye.